See, this just goes to show you that little packet, how strong it is, because every dish looks the same.
Yeah, that bulldog sauce is going to completely overpower the pesto.
Yeah. Wait, did he say alcohol evaporate? Yeah.
It's fucking alcohol.
It's alcohol.
You know,
I put
chunks.
I empty out the fridge. I clean when I want to clean out the fridge. I'm making a sauce, a meat sauce.
Penne alla vodka is supposed to be the pinnacle
Wait, how long
of
is this
Italian
video?
American cooking. When
Pretty
it was
long.
first
This is a
created, the
long
dish
one.
was called the disco pasta in Italy because people order it at clubs. This is why Italians do it better. Why would I dance on the floor and socialize with other people when I can just sit in the corner in the club and chomp down a bowl of penne? A hot pan will do a good amount of olive oil, about 2 tablespoons or so, and start sauteing our onions and garlic.
It's not 2 tablespoons.
One of the best smells in the kitchen. You don't want to heat up the oil too much because extra virgin olive oil has a really low smoke point. To deglaze the pot and flavor it with the classic penne vodka flavor, I'm gonna drop in about a 1/4 cup of vodka. Ooh.
I don't know how much I believe vodka really adds to this
I never
recipe.
liked vodka sauce. It's a creamy
tomato sauce.
tomato sauce. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, you could use white wine. You don't. It doesn't have to be vodka.
No.
I think it's vodka
I
because
just think
it's cheap.
Cold butter into the tomato sauce, and that's it. Good to go.
I feel like I just lost some hair. Let me just check if I still have my eyebrows. Okay, eyebrows, fine. Let's keep cooking this penne vodka. Put in about a 1/4 cup of tomato paste and vodka. We're making a Bloody Mary over here. The alcohol reduces very quickly. Canned paste comes with that raw tomato smell. Frying it off in the pan.
Wait, did he say alcohol evaporate? Yeah,
it's fucking alcohol.
It's alcohol. It's fuel.
Yeah, alcohol is always going to have a faster evaporation factor than water.
Vodka liquid is going to help to enhance the flavor. Okay, once you see these fronds starting to form on the bottom, that means the tomato paste is starting to caramelize. We can add in about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. The theme of the day, half a packet. I feel like this is a little too thick, so I'm going to add in noodle water.
Okay.
You know, I actually never had penne alla vodka. It just doesn't sound very appetizing. Signature orange color. Looks like pumpkin puree. Let's add in our noodles now. Just coat it very thoroughly. Nice. Let's thin it out a little bit more. This is looking really good. Sprinkle of basil and a lot of cheese, obviously. A light mix. Our penne alla bulldog is ready. No, our bulldog alla vodka. Didn't put a single drop of salt in it. The noodle sauce and the cheese should be salty enough. Surprisingly, the vodka sauce completely taken out the flavor of the fire noodle sauce, so it's just kind of like a spicy vodka sauce. Kind of tastes like the Prince Street pizza sauce or Ruby Rosa if it's spicy. Very light,
which is a secret behind Carbone's.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just chilies. It's a vodka sauce with chili flakes.
Demystify.
Yeah.
Refreshing. Super simple. Everything can be done in a pan. I'll give this an 8.7. Like many things in life, things just became really simple after I gave up. I was gonna make pesto from scratch, but too much pounding nuts could be bad for you. So we're gonna take some of this pre-made pesto and make a
I'm not a
sauce
fan
out
of jarred pesto like that. You know, over the counter. Never liked it.
About 3 tablespoons of pesto.
Oh, there's some good ones.
The sauce.
Yeah.
Is there?
You could find good quality stuff.
Okay.
And I don't use it as the main ingredient. I would use it for something else.
Okay.
You know, to add.
Maybe I'll
it's
give
like
it a chance.
it's a shortcut.
Right. The ones I've had, I've never really liked.
Yeah, on its own, they taste like shit.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying you use it as a shortcut.
As a component.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, there's one more component FutureCanoe needs, and that's some of Five's quick hits, fast-acting cannabis edibles, the sponsor of today's video.
Five has taken their delicious gummies, infused them with strain-specific terpene blends, and engineered them to hit in less than 10 minutes. Faster, smarter, designed for those who care about what they consume. That's right, your favorite high-quality dispensary-grade 5 edible gummies now kick in 10 minutes, delivered legally straight to your door, and it doesn't hurt. They're pretty freaking delicious. I've stopped smoking and vaping of any kind for over 10 years now, as I don't like what it does to my lungs. I also don't like the odors. And fortunately, with gummy edibles, I don't have to deal with any of that, but I get all the benefits. And since Five's quick hits hit in 10 minutes or less, there's a lot less of a guessing game, a lot more relaxing with a leading trusted brand. Get a free pack of one of our 4 flavors of 5 quick hits gummies. Just pay shipping. And remember, you have to be 21 and older. Visit the link in the description below.
We'll do some noodle water and we'll dump in the noodles, coat it through. Finally, we'll top it off with some more cheese. That's unfortunate. My pants are wet for these noodles, man.
See, this just goes to show you that
let's
little
plate it up.
packet, how
Right.
strong it is, because
Right.
every dish looks the same.
Yeah. And this Bulldog instant ramen is particularly spicy. That's what they're known for, FYI. So that's also why it's so fucking intense.
It's a little blob of pesto fire noodle. The fire noodle sauce is way too
kinda
deep,
looks like
intense,
our
chemical-y to
sauce,
contrast
gochujang.
the light, refreshing,
Orange.
herbaceous pesto sauce. So when you mix the two together, it doesn't really taste like anything. Pretty disappointed in pesto fire noodle. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that Bulldog sauce is going to completely overpower the pesto.
This is the simplest dish of the day. The next one is of moderate complexity. The Bolognese is not just tomato and meat. The key here is a
And that can work.
That can work.
That can work 100%. Yeah.
Actually, that's except the first one and the last one are gonna be my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah.
balance of dairy, wine, animal fat, and thyme. Aromatics will provide a good foundation for the sauce. The sofrito is same as French mirepoix, 2-part onion, 1 part each of celery and carrots. I'm gonna make sure the pieces are really fine to trick myself into eating more vegetables. To start with the classic ragu, we want guanciale or pancetta. I don't have any, but I have bacon. It smells a little off. I
Wait,
had
go
this
back to
for
the one
at
you
least
had.
a month, but
No,
it's
he used it all.
cured, so it should be all good. It smells like yogurt. It's not normal. Every classic recipe I've seen online
Sour?
requires
Smells
us
sour?
to not
That's what
only
he
use
said.
bacon, but also butter and a little bit of olive oil. It's a little strange. So a lot of fat going on. But fat is flavor, I guess.
Well, the
Flavor
butter is
with some
gonna help
pepper. Yeah,
Prevent the oil from burning. That's one of its uses of mixing the both fats.
Okay. Okay.
But the flavor is
Right.
definitely
Right. And also a bolognese benefits from a lot of fat because it's cooked for so long and there's so much tomato sauce in there and there's a lot of acidity, so it balances out.
A little bit of color, and you see the fond is forming on the bottom. This is when we drop in the carrots. The oil in the pan is starting to turn orange. That means all the pieces are heated up. And add in the next hardest thing to cook, the onions. So every time we introduce moisture to the pan, you can see the fond inside the pot is like falling off. A thoroughly sauteed sofrito is the foundation of a good ragu. Yeah, now the onions getting a little translucent. We'll go in with the celery. Finally, a tiny bit of garlic in the mix. We'll just leave it here to saute till
I would have
more
gone more
color comes
garlic.
on. You see now the pan is pretty much all dried up. You hear that sizzling, popping sound, and the edges are getting a little brown. And drop
pan
in
also
our
helps a
1
lot.
pound of ground beef. Using 93% ground beef to counteract the fat from the bacon. Make sure to separate it well.
Nah,
Now,
I would
burgers here.
get if you're gonna do this at home, get yourself like a meatloaf mix.
Yeah.
And buy a little package of the sausage.
Yeah.
Sausage meat.
Yeah. At Beauty and Essex, we used merguez sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
It
better.
doesn't have to be merguez, but some type of sausage.
Merguez is gonna level up the spice.
Yeah, I actually think using a high fat, not necessarily, you don't have to pick the highest quality ground beef, but whatever ground meat you use, I don't think you could go wrong with something that had a little bit more fat.
Listen, honestly, ground pork would be good.
Pan is getting dry. We'll go in with half a cup of wine. Supposed to be red wine, but I don't have white wine here. Add in a whole can, about a cup of tomato puree. Already looking like a sauce. We'll do about 1/4 cup of chicken
Nice.
stock.
I do
Give it
that
some
all the time.
liquid, because we're about to
Where you take the can and you rinse it out with the stock or
Yeah.
some water. Get
braise it. Just ran out of milk.
Everybody
About
does that.
Half a cup of heavy
Not
cream.
everybody.
I'm gonna just add a little more chicken stock
Unfortunately.
to it. That's gonna be our milk. It's looking very liquidy, actually. Sorry, it's a sauce. So now you're probably wondering. That's a lot of ingredients, a lot of dairy.
I'm not a
meats,
fan
vegetables.
of
You didn't-
fan of
the milk.
And I don't
Do we say
put
that at
milk.
the same time?
Yeah, we did. I don't put milk in my bolognese.
I don't.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
didn't season
Unless
at
you-
all. But
unless
here
you're making
comes the
a vodka sauce.
Yeah.
thing that's gonna season it perfectly. A whole packet of bulldog sauce. This is my first time braising things with bulldog sauce. I wonder how it's gonna turn out. You know that
that's a good
immediate
point he brought
smell that hits you when you put bulldog sauce into anything? Such a unique signature chemical flavor. Somebody should make a
What's gonna happen to the
That's not a good.
packet?
That's not a
Right.
good.
That's not a good ingredient to braise,
Yeah.
right?
clone of
And
that.
the milk too.
Once
Yeah.
it's coming up to a simmer, we'll turn it on low heat, close the lid, and let it braise for at least 2 hours. But I usually don't like having the fire on for that long on my stove. I get a little anxious. What I do is I turn the oven on 310 and just throw this
Okay.
into
So, you know, what I do respect about FutureCanoe is that he's not really looking to impress you. So he leaves in his mistakes like he did with the gnocchi, right? And I'm not a fan of the milk in this, but you know, I can appreciate that he doesn't cover up mistakes. So to
a
speak.
low temperature oven, and it's gonna achieve the same effect. Now there's been 2 hours. It looks like it's mutating. All of the liquid has reduced down. All the vegetables, meat have absorbed the flavor.
I was about to say it looks like
disintegrated
shit,
into
but
the sauce.
now it
You
looks
see?
like a
very little
bolognese.
liquid left. The tomato have caramelized, especially on the side. We're gonna scrape it and mix it in. As we're heating this back up,
More?
the last bit of
No,
cream we're
no, no,
adding.
no, no,
We'll
no,
stir
no.
in and just let it come up to temp. Additional parm. I don't think we put parm in it earlier, did we? Mix everything in. Half
So
the
the way
sauce-
I make my bolognese is I put in the scraps of the Parmesan I've left over. You know,
I
chunks.
I empty out the fridge. I clean
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
want to clean out the
yeah.
fridge. I'm making a sauce,
Yeah.
a meat sauce.
We're probably gonna store it. Look at that. These Italian shops in the West Village better watch out. Thick and creamy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
not
way
a
I
creamy
like it.
sauce.
Not a
Along with some
creamy
of the
sauce.
noodle water, a further thin out the sauce. And we'll finish cooking
but that's
the
gonna
noodles
taste good.
inside
It's gonna
of the
taste
sauce.
good, I agree.
It looks too dry, we'll just pour in some noodle water. Ready to plate up this 93% ragu pasta. Try to do like a little swirl that they do in restaurants. Yeah, whatever. More sauce on top, some parsley.
That looks
Make it
great.
rain.
That's great.
That looks great.
Black pepper. Look at that. A bulldog ragu. Now that's the one thing that's a little bit more difficult with the Ligma fork is swirling pasta into a spoon. Whatever. We'll just pile the sauce on top and eat it straight up. Okay, I think that might be too little of the bulldog sauce.
Really?
I can't taste it at all. You get that hint of spice.
I think
Only on
that's
the
a
back
good
of the
thing if
throat
you-
that the noodle is having an effect on me. Okay, this bite should be much stronger. The ragu itself has a lot of cream, cheese, and
Wait,
a
but
lot
that
of fat in
but
it,
that
so
gives you
interacts.
an inside look at his taste buds. The fact that he wants more of that. So what he thinks are going to be high intensity
Right,
dishes.
Right.
Like he loves.
No, he said at the beginning of the video he doesn't like spicy food. So the fact that I guess he's been eating so much of this bulldog sauce, now he's getting a
Oh, he
little
oh.
desensitized.
You think he shot all of this in the same day?
No, but you know, even if you eat this same thing over the course of a few days, you're going to adapt, right? Like, because even
Yeah. Okay, so that's what happened
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really well with the sharp chemical spiciness from the bulldog sauce. This one is the most hearty variation so far. I think I can see this being a more sustainable option compared to all the other ones that's just full of grease and fat. Yeah, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. Because see, the bolognese is an off.
That has a lot of grease and fat. You just don't fucking see it.
There were highs and lows there.
There were. And this was a great video.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun. Before we close out this episode, I want to say thank you to all of my amazing patrons. Thank you so much for your support. And for the rest of you, please consider becoming a patron by clicking the link in the description below. By becoming a patron, you get to take advantage of some awesome perks like early access to new episodes and patron exclusive content. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as we did making it. And remember, it always gets better. And with that said, I'm Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef.
Frenchy.
And we'll see you really soon. Say bye to the wide cam, Frenchy.
Bye, wide cam.
Bye.